we've got 2 rounds of public consultation coming.
Yeah.
I agree.
Are you happy to
But
go back live just to give a what you can say?
I'm happy to go live.
Yep. Yep. Not yet.
Conversations up there around the table. So we're option. It does change in that. Because it's all collaborative and all together and refreshes some spaces.
Okay, resume the meeting. We have Mr. Nigel McCaddy here, legal advisor. Nigel, regarding the option D site, perhaps the legal challenges around that. Thank you.
Yes, so we would. What the council just needs to have in mind is when it makes the decision on which proposal it's going to adopt, it just needs to have give thought to how significant the degree of change is from the proposal that it goes out to the community with. That's the position.
Cool. And could I have from Philip the time frame be reconsulted on this particular option D? Does that upset the process, or what does that trigger?
It does upset the process. If you chose Tongariro Domain as your option, and we would need to get, and we were going to do some further consultation as part of your resolution, then we would need to get some detailed or some more, so a feasibility study basically, so get this design here made up so we can get some QS around it and better understand what it might deliver.
Yep.
And ensure that it's going to meet your expectation, I guess.
Okay, and then we would put that out to the public, or?
If that's what you chose to do.
Yes.
Yep, based on the risks that, based on the information you have.
Yep. Okay. Councillor Park.
Yeah. So how does the consultation process work with an LTP amendment? Is it, or is it like, because we're going out saying what this is the favoured?
Yeah,
but this is what the council have an appetite for. Like, how does it work? I just haven't come across this scenario before.
Neither have I. I think we'd probably have to have a conversation with our auditors just around their expectations around what they would want to see, because obviously in this instance we produce a consultation document which they audit, which is required under the Act. If this was seen to be something that we were reconsulting on, there may be an expectation that we would produce a new consultation document and go through a formal consultation phase again. But again, I can't answer that at the moment. I would just need to get that clarification from them.
Yeah, because what will need to be clarified, you're not consulting on a preferred option, you've made a decision.
And that's where the concern for me is, like, if you go out, well, we don't know what we don't know, but if it comes back with a huge resounding no, then are we back to square one?
And I have to say, if you have a look at the consultation process that we've just gone through, we had a resounding no from the community for Tongariro Domain anyway.
Then have we addressed those issues? Because their main issues were parking and green space. And this compromise, we're not taking up green space. And if we redevelop Tongariro Street, eventually, which has always been in the plan, we're spending the money where we've always known where we should spend it, then that addresses that issue as well.
The previous one, it wasn't taking any green space up anyway.
No, it wasn't.
It was taking road.
Potentially, in the future, if those, eventually that whole area could become green space, so it's adding to the green space. whereas we're not taking it up. If we're back where those other buildings are,
Yeah.
all those other things could potentially become more green space.
So relocating the museum over there.
Yeah, and building
creates
more
more green
community
space.
space in that area.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, just because I've been through this process before, back in 2011, there's a percentage of 2012. There's a percentage of our community, and you've heard of some of them today, who are just against council offices on the domain, regardless of whether they're above, below, taking up green space or not. And then there's a percentage of the community who are genuinely interested in how much space does it take and how does the parking work and stuff like that, and will be there. But there is I don't know what the numbers would be, but there is a percentage which, because I've spoken to a lot of them over the last 10 years, who are just against council offices on the domain. That doesn't mean that's not the right thing for you to do, but there is a percentage.
And it's not to say that they're against something happening with the domain, it's just the council buildings on that domain. And there's just one other point I want to make. What I'm really concerned about the way our decision process is evolving here is we are moving out our decision. And what I'm hearing around the table is and if you've heard this from the submitters too, make a decision, do something. And we're hearing from the council staff, we all need to be together. We've got some big projects on. You do this, I reckon we won't be breaking ground for another 5 years.
Councillor Park?
Nigel, just around Tūwharetoa Street, what were the legal risks there?
Those.
A little bit more.
To be clear, this was an easy decision we made years ago.
Yeah.
So we can build a council building on there as a right. We wouldn't have to do any other processes once you go through this one. Subject to obviously resource consent, building consent, any requirements around those. You've heard from Gareth, it's in the CBD, so planning implications, relatively straightforward. I'm just reading through the consultation document here, and it's got competition with private landowners in relation to the 300 metre square of ground floor area for alternative uses, low risk, and judicial review district plan, low risk.
Okay. Or Aotearoa or Kinloch. Right, okay. Right, next steps are, so the indication before was to an elongated version of the Great Lakes Centre or a modified version of the Great Lakes Centre. Okay, so those proponents of that, hearing the legal challenges here this morning, are we still happy to go down that path, or do we want a couple of days to seek some advice and announce a adjournment until we can go away and gather our thoughts, gather some advice, all that sort of thing on that? Yeah, we can have lunch now, because I know Councillor Harvey's going to be back at 12:30, so we could have lunch and then come back in half an hour. But this is a monumental decision, so I'm going to take as chair as long as it takes to make the right call, and it might have to resume next week, early next week. But yeah, so we will discuss that as we go. We'll come back at 12:30. So meeting adjourned till
just
then.
on
Yeah,
my
Councillor Body?
pet theory of leases, there's a building just around the street here that would fully suit the council chamber and the mayoral offices, and it's not on the Great Lakes Centre. It'll be under release.
This is
The building around the corner that used to be the, I call it the Gentlemen's Club, opposite the school grounds, just around the corner. It's up
Yeah.
for lease. No,
Yeah.
not the RSA, no.
yeah, no,
That's for lease.
yeah, it's totally inappropriate. That like it's about 120. Too small, yeah. Yeah. Gentlemen's Club. Still smells of cigars. Yeah. Okay, no problems. Adjourned. until 12:30, and we will resume. Okay, thank you.